Well, as we understand it, he's now exhausted all avenues of appeal in Greece. There's still some options in terms of appeal to courts in Europe, as we understand it, but his avenues of appeal in Greece have finished, and the Greek courts have now ordered his extradition back here to Australia. That said, there's still some more formalities that need to be gone through, or some steps that need to be gone through. The Greek government needs to formally agree to the extradition, and so we just need to wait and see what happens with that. Look, that's hard to say. The point is the Commonwealth Attorney-General's Department is the lead agency in relation to international extradition, so they're the ones doing the work on the extradition. We're obviously working closely with them. The matter's really for them to progress with the Greek government, and I don't want to put a time frame around that.
But is it months, weeks?
Look, it all depends. I don't think it's months, but it all really depends. It's still very much for the Greek government to make decisions as to, at the government level, as to whether they approve the extradition, and then we're really in their hands around timing.
His lawyer again has suggested that when he does get back, the likelihood of a fair trial is pretty slim.
Look, I've heard those suggestions being made. I think that underestimates the intelligence of jurors here in Victoria. I also make the point that our courts are very independent. We have very good courts. No doubt they will make these sorts of applications in front of the court when Mr Mokbel is here. The courts will listen to that. If there's any evidence in support of that, there are processes in place that can deal with those sorts of issues.
Do you think he will talk once he gets back and try and make any kind of bargain with you at all?
Well, I think the key thing is that the decision overnight by the Greek courts is another important step forward in this process. We've said all along it's a long process. There's lots of technicalities that need to be gone through. It's another important step out of the way, and so we're hopeful that we will be in a position where Mr Mokbel can be returned to Victoria to face justice, and I guess we'll then wait and see what happens from there.
Is it likely he's going to go to the United Nations?
I don't see that as being an option. I think there's a European court, as I understand it, where he might want to appeal. That's really a matter for him and his legal advisors. I think the important point is that he's exhausted all his appeal rights in Greece, and it's now a matter for the Greek government to determine whether they're prepared to consent to the extradition.
When he goes to the European court for appeal, though, will that then push it back another couple of months?
Look, as I say, there's lots of uncertainties in this whole process. The timing is really now a matter for the Greek government. They need to formally consent to the extradition, and then it will be the Greek government that then, liaising with the Commonwealth Attorney-General's Department, that determines the timing on this.
A newspaper article at the weekend by a journalist in Athens expressed concerns about the security of the court system there. Do you share those concerns?
Look, I think the Greek authorities, we've been obviously worked closely with them in the initial apprehension of Mr Mokbel. My experience is that they've done an extremely good job. I've got every reason to believe that they'll continue to do a good job.